Hello, everybody, and welcome to the BSC Summer Season Round 9 at Dover Motor Speedway. I am here today a little different. Typically, it would be James and myself, but as you can see and hear, that's not James anymore. So we have myself and Dean Hopton, who is going to be joining us with the fantastic commentary that he does provide. So we moved from England to Australia. So we've got an Aussie and a Canadian instead of the English and a Canadian. So once again, still two people who not really all that associated with NASCAR. But Dean, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, thank you. I'm looking forward to this, of course, first time working for the BSC Summer Series here. We're going to be at round 9 here at Dover, as you'd mentioned there. But we're still part of the Commonwealth, my friend, along the line there. But we do have an Aussie in the field there, and the rest of the field will be stacked here this evening with good old US of A drivers.
Yeah, good old Seth Pegg. Him and I, we chat back and forth very often about our AFL, as I play it and he watches it in, being the Australian, kind of has to almost. So he's, we do joke back and forth on that, but yeah, we'll see him floating around. He's got his first podium a little while ago, or his first podium of this season, not too long ago. So, but yes, as we are here with Dover, you can see a wonderful, wonderful, straight up basic oval. There's a lot of high banking. I don't know if anyone has actually seen this track. It is terrifying to just be on, as it does have some massive banking on these corners, which does allow it to be very tricky when getting into and out of said corners. There's also been a rescan recently with this track, which, as I was looking into some stuff, there have been some added difficulty because of said rescan. So going into turn 3, there's now a very fun sort of, I don't want to say super bumpy, but kind of a bumpy section as you're starting to brake, which is tricky to sort of avoid. Just underneath the bridge, you can see on the bottom, I guess middle right of your screen there. So as you kind of go under there, there's a little bumpy section as you're trying to brake in and get down to the line, which does add a little bit of difficulty. But as we do look at the track, as you can see, massive banking, 24 degrees on those turns, 9 degrees on the straights. It is a 1 mile track, so a little bit of short track at the wonderful Monster Mile.
Speaking of Monster Mile, actually, we have a Monster Grid stacked up here this evening. If you'd like to go over for us.
Yeah, so we do have 20 drivers here today as we just wrapped up qualifying. So coming up first is Brandon McLaughlin, Ben Ruse in P2, Alex Witt in P3, Cody Kern in P4, Andrew Jamalin in P5, Trenton Kimmel in 6, TJ Spainhauer in 7, Joshua Keith in 8, Noel Jackowitz in 9, Seth Pegg in 10, Blake Lewis in 11th, Lance Starling up into 12th. We then have Terry Spainhauer in 13, Armin Brusso in 14th, Calvin Ross 15th, Tom Kuhn in 16th, Brad Young in 17th, David Trogdon 18th, Joshua Kuhn in 19th, and Daniel Molinari in 20th today. So good 20 car roster on Dover. Lots of cars, more than you need.
Exactly.
Almost too many.
Possibilities, of course, for cautions. We have our stage break that will be currently at 60. So we'll have one stage break and then we'll just cruise it on, hopefully. Caution as less as possible. That's even a word. Don't quote me on my English. To the very end, my friend.
Oh, I would be very okay if we go cautionless till the end on that one. And then Billy Cooper, let's go TJ and Brad. Same with Lydia Spainhauer, TJ and Brad. And then Happy Little Cupcake, let's go 52, which is Trenton Kimmel in his very well known at this point Sour Patch Kid car. And then Angie Kimmel go Trenton. So lots of people excited for a couple of racers here. We'll see. And yeah, it looks like TJ is back to his Busy Bee livery as well, which is always nice. But we will be underway very shortly. As we can see, the strongest right arm in all of iRacing, as we are green. Ooh! Looking like the restarts are super fun. That corner into the straightaway, and there's going to be our first caution. That's about right. Dover, you never fail to disappoint.
Looks like Blake Lewis has got into him. I'm loving these liveries, of course. He wants his MTV and a little too soon for one indoor MTV, but we'll go back and have a look at our first caution. We just got just semi underway on this one. Let's have a look where it all starts back here in the midfield.
With 77 there, I believe that's one of our newer drivers. That's Ben Ruse. He had a little bit of an incident, and then the 27 of Blake Lewis kind of gets a little squirrely as well. Yeah. It's trying to avoid all the checkups as everyone's sort of trying to dodge, and I think that's actually, the 594, that's Alex Witt. Uncharacteristic of him to have a little bit of a squirrel, but he did look like he kind of dived down to get underneath the 81 as McLaughlin didn't really go. And then kind of tried to let up in time, and unfortunately with this track, there's not a whole lot of space to get around anything. So if someone goes sideways, everyone's going to have a problem.
That's generally the situation. Cold tires and very warm hearts for these drivers trying to get to gas, put the pedal to the metal, get it going. And unfortunately, just like that, of course, thank you in the chat. We got those supporters, as you mentioned, out there for TJ and Brad. Wait, that went well as well, too, for the happy little cupcake out there. Loving these names. I'm going to get used to the liveries, of course, for my first time at this season. But it's absolutely fantastic. Speaking of season, whilst we're under the pace car lights, my friend, we'll quickly just show you that calendar once again of how far we've progressed and how far we've got to go. Not many. After this, we head over to Iowa, mate, and then the Glen to round out the season.
Yeah, so we've got Indy Motor Speedway next week there. Iowa under the lights. Iowa under the lights. And I believe for Iowa, the special kind of fun that we're going to be having is the sports theme night. So the MTV car that you can see is I believe that's Blake Lewis's leftover from last week at Auto Club, where we had 80s decade themed. So he busted out the MTV throwback. There was a couple of those last week. But so next week 2 weeks in Iowa there, we'll have the sports theme. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then, Watkins Glen to end off the summer season, and before we have a little bit of a break and then head into our autumn season, where we'll have, I think, only a couple of sort of paint theme nights, a throwback, and then Halloween, which will be fun. But yes, they are closing down on numbers of races. So we do have to go through and kind of see the adjustments that have been made. As with last season, partway through, they added the A and P version of every driver and figure out who's going to be the ones making it through to the finals at the end of next and the autumn season there. But that'll be conversations we'll have closer to, because obviously we still got lots of time. 3 races, lots of time. Well, I guess 4, as this one's only a massive few laps in. We're coming in on the 4th lap is probably when we'll get restarted if the caution or the safety car decides it's done for this moment. We won't say day because it'll be out there.
Exactly. You see gainers and gainers and not so gainers. I hate the word losers in anything so I'll just say gainers and not gainers.
Risers and fallers.
Risers and fallers, because everybody here's a champion to get out there and drive these difficult cars on this difficult track. That just takes a lot of skill. Let's go. Green flag racing.
Back green as we make our way through. Brandon McLaughlin does get a much better jump this time, and the field as a whole got a much better jump, as we are all still going forward now, which is always a fun way to restart a race. Everyone moving forward. A trickier track for sure. There's a reason it's called the Monster Mile. It is not the easiest track to be driving around on. You kind of have a very limited window where grip feels good. Unfortunately, it eats your right front very quickly. And I think from everything I've sort of seen, about lap 5 is when you have to start already applying a little bit of brake, as we see Seth Pegg in the 59 on the outside there, just getting a little close to the wall. And then as the track gets rubbered in down low, it gets faster up high, which then makes it harder to pass, because you have to go low to pass, which is slick, and your tires are already dead. So it's a very tricky track at all times of the race, because either your tires seem cold, they're already wearing, or you're slamming into walls like that. So not very easy track to get yourself around.
I think it'd be fantastic as well too if iRacing is just seeing a little bit of more cars. If iRacing actually give you some sort of information from the telemetry to say how many times somebody hits the wall, because they're all going to be hitting the wall a lot. I was on the truck series last night for the Australian series, and they were bouncing off the walls a few times as well too for that. So it's certainly very interesting, and this track is not forgiving and bumpy as well. Kenton.
The new recent scan that they sort of added in, I believe it was coming into this season. They sort of tweaked obviously the track, and Dover was one of the ones that did get that rescan and kind of remodel and everything. And the biggest section you'll sort of notice it on is going into turn 3, as we kind of talked about earlier on. Going into turn 3, as you're starting to brake, you'll kind of sort of bounce a little bit, and if you hit that too much, you really run the risk of disrupting the aero on the underbody, like the, I guess, downforce that gets caused by the air underneath the car. So if you're trying to dive in, it can get real bouncy as you're trying to get closer to the sort of apron. They don't really technically have a line at this one. It is a different surface. I believe it is asphalt here, or sorry, not asphalt, concrete. As they're one of the few ones that does actually have concrete, opposed to asphalt. It is more expensive, which is why a lot of racetracks do not use it, but it is much more durable until it's not. Once it starts breaking, it gets a little dicey, but they can always patch it. And then that black on the inside is asphalt. Obviously not used as much, so they decided to go that way. And that someone looking a little squirrely in the back there, but everyone still pointing forward, which is a great way to drive, especially if you want to be near the front. If you're facing sideways or backwards, it's going to be a lot harder to get a win.
As you see on the back there, do you follow Jesus that close? At the back there, it looks like of Terry's car. That's the Fast Angry Racing team. We're on board right now with Calvin Ross, who's currently sitting here in the 11th position, started 15th, so he's up 4 positions. Just first of all, you've got to conquer this track before you think about conquering the other drivers, and that's going to be the absolute key on this racing. As you'd mentioned, bumpy, you can see it's like, it'll rattle the fillings out of your teeth around here, especially for 150 laps, but we will be going obviously to 60 for the stage 1 to get yourself a nice little stage victory that you can have a little bit of bragging rights, of course. Just aware of that one, are we going to be going to a fixed caution at the end of the stage break?
Yes, yeah. So once we hit stage break, we'll go straight into yellow. We'll have a nice little break. Everyone tries to dive in, get as much either repairs at the rate we're all hitting walls back there, or fuel, tires, all that fun stuff, with only 4 sets of tires for this track. So you got to be very, very conservative on them. You don't want to be blowing through tires too quickly. Obviously 150 laps, kind of divide it by 4 and hope that it sort of works out. An early caution like we had is not really the most ideal to have to be swapping tires on that. If we do end up getting green flag pit stops, which is entirely possible, it's a tricky, very, very tricky track to be trying to do it. As you can kind of see as we'll come around the corner, the pit entry is very immediate after the turn, so you have to slam on the brakes, more or less. It's about 50% you want to be on as you get down, and you want to sort of hit the apron at a very as straight as you basically can. You don't want to try and like mosey down or go too early down, as trying to rip around these corners as quick as you can on that asphalt that's not being touched. Your car tends to not like it too much, so you definitely have to be prepared and hopefully, for the sake of everybody else, have practiced how to enter the pits here, because it can definitely cause problems if you don't hit it properly. Ooh. From Brad Young getting a little close to the rear end there of Seth Pegg.
You get the exit, you can see it's like, wow, I've got a big boost, of course, but then you start scrubbing the speeds as you're approaching into the corner, banking elevation more, and then, of course, at the same time, you're chewing through those boots every single time you're doing that. And some drivers elect to be a little bit more kind to those tyres. We'll give them that opportunity a little bit late deeper into the race, of course, to make those overtakes and put that car in places where it probably shouldn't be, with the boots being so damaged. That's going to be a part of the care these drivers are going to be looking for. But key to it that you alerted me to, but in post-race, is they don't have that much gasoline. It's only 30%, right? If I'm not mistaken.
35, I believe.
35%.
Yeah.
So
35%. So not a lot.
out of the 100% that is available. So race control deemed, all right, guys, you've got to make use of that. And when do you expect it? Do you reckon there's no way they're going to get to stage 1, are they? I would imagine on that 35%.
I would be shocked if they made it all the way to stage 1. I would expect them to be open. You know what? We're going to probably have a lot of people coming in right now.
Oh, Daniel's just had a little bit of a blink there at the moment. I was going to say, not towing just yet, my friend. But we have a caution. This exactly would be a cheap pit stop for some of the drivers. We'll go back and have a look. It's unfortunately happened to Dan, the man. Is, that's just...
And then he caught... Yeah, that's the 19 there. That's Tom Kuhn. Looks like, just kind of got squirrely coming out of the corner. And unfortunately, once you kind of lose it on this track, there's not a whole lot of space for you to go to try and recover. So, unfortunate for Tom Kuhn that he had the 320 of Daniel Molinari come ripping down or bouncing down on top of him. But hopefully not too much damage. But yes, I would be surprised if people didn't take advantage of this, because right now we're on lap 21, 21, going into lap 22. All you need is, there, okay. Ooh, he missed it. He wanted it. He missed it. So Brendan McLaughlin's going to have to go around and hop back in there. But Cody Kern and leading basically everybody. I think the only one who didn't come in was Brendan McLaughlin. And the race out, it looks like Alex Witt is actually going to take the win. And here's a fun spot right up as you come out of pit lane. Thankfully, because they're not in green flag pit stop here, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But it is a super big bounce as you make your way actually out of the pit box itself, or the pit lane, and onto sort of the track. Just before that Xfinity sign, there's a huge bump there that if you're really on the throttle as you come out, they're not going to be massively punching it through here because yellow flag. But if there is a green flag pit stop, got to be very careful, because that can, anything really more than 50% throttle, send you up into a wall or down into a wall. Because with how banked this track is, it does seem to spin you down at the walls, not up into those walls, which can be a little more dangerous. But Brian McLaughlin was able to get back out of the pit after missing pits the first time. And they do have their choose cone, so everyone's going to dive down to what side they want. Looks like Brendan McLaughlin going to take that outside. Alex Witt going on the inside.
Yeah, just I'll have it for you next week for everybody out there. We'll have to show the pit lap on the timing tower as well too, because I'm just taking over obviously from James to do this. So I'll get it all configured the way I'm used to for broadcasting for NASCAR. Hope everybody's enjoying themselves. Thank you all for tuning in for this race. It will be action-packed, no doubt, as mentioned. It's and you were absolutely right about those green flag pit stops that you're going to have. They're going to be chucking the cars down there. And based off my experience and just even the race last night and stuff that I witnessed, a few people had a few little spinnaroos heading into pit lane.
Yeah, it's a very tricky space to kind of get into, because the drop from the corner, which we talked about, is 24 degrees, to the apron, which is no degrees, is very abrupt. So it can definitely lead to a lot of problems if you're unprepared, slightly wrong angle, too much gas, too much brake, pretty much anything. But we are going to be back green here as Brendan McLaughlin does get a good jump once again, staying on that outside. Alex Witt now side by side with Cody Kern. He looks like he is going to hold him off and hold on to P2 there. A couple cars all jumbled up. Doesn't look like anything much worse than 2 wide, which is good. Do not go 3 wide here. It does not end well at all.
Not just yet till you get up full speed as well, as we're going to see almost 4 wide in the background there. Maybe I'm taking that. Hopefully, so far so good. Once you get the speed up there and people start getting used to those grip levels again in the changeable conditions, then you're back into it. You get into the groove. It's just that initial race start that's very difficult because you've got cars to the left, cars to the right. You get on with it. And this man at the front here, McLaughlin, it's had such a comfortable lead, isn't it? And I don't know. At the same time, you get a nice you get that build that gap that he has currently at the moment to the rest of the field. But I wouldn't push it that much. Wouldn't push your car too much. Save those tyres a little bit because there is always multiple chances of more cautions coming, which means that lead's completely then gone. But remember too, at this point, McLaughlin hasn't gone in a pit lane, whereas everybody else behind him has. It was Alex Witt before was the one that was scooting all the way out, wasn't he?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Alex Witt was the one that came. He hopped in. Brendan McLaughlin, we thought, missed the pit lane, and then I thought he did come in, but I guess not. He has not come in for a pit stop currently. So he is hoping those tires, that he's able to kind of hold on to them, save them a little bit. I have seen 30 laps is where the tires start to fall apart. If it gets too hot, by 50 laps, if the track temperature is really anything over 100 and really over 100, they can sort of run the risk of blowing a tire. So you're going to want to try and avoid that if you can, but obviously 20 laps is not going to be too much of a problem. But once he starts getting up there, if he's going to try and push it all the way to the end of the stage there, might run that risk, especially on a track like this that does just eat your front right. So that might be a problem to keep an eye on, or he's hoping for a later sort of caution flag to allow him to dive in.
What you can see currently at the moment, 80 degrees in the track temperature. That wind speed, that's not really too bad. Oof, oh, 3 wide action in the background. Come on, save it, son, David. Well, the fence is going to save you for a little bit. Can he manage to get control of that car back into this race? And did he suffer any major damage? Oof.
Hard to say. I think his car is pretty banged up there. He's driving straight and that tire is not. So he's having a fun time.
Yeah, you'll see if he can get himself back into pit lane there without... Shouldn't be calling a caution, should it? Because he's not coming back up on the track there to affect the rest of this race. So we will stay green flag conditions here with McLaughlin not doing a too bad job. He must have been pretty kind to his tyres because remember, he hasn't gone down a pit road yet. So he's done a full 32 laps of this race, make it 33 now on that first set. But we don't know if some of those drivers took tyres or not in that last pit stop. I think it was only a splash and dash. Those drivers are showing about 6-second pit stops across the board, most of them, which to me shows only that's just gasoline. So that might still be on even speed when it comes to tyres.
It looks to be true. And then, yep, here comes the man who's always bloody fast, Alex Witt. He is jumping right out to the lead. Looks like he might have been a little nicer to his tires, able to just kind of hold on to a little more life as he just powered right by Brendan McLaughlin there. Sorry, I had to fight a sneeze for a second. Yep. Right in the middle of my sentence. I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, he went screaming by him. Already opened a 0.2 of a second lead, which, I mean, isn't a ton, especially in NASCAR, those can close up pretty quickly, but does look a little bit stronger as he's making his way through these corners.
Yeah, we keep an eye on it from back in this position to stop TJ there. One of the fan favourites out there for the Fast Hungry Racing team. He's the number 86 car. He's up 2 places from currently where he started in the Toyota. And you can see this gaggle of cars up the road there as they're starting to get closer and closer to that fence as the grip starts to fall off more and more currently at the moment. 36 of 60 for our stage 1. Terry's gone into pit road. We still have Daniel down there, and David is a lap down, 2 laps down actually, if you see on the timing tower. That's the current situations in this race. It will go pretty quickly if we have green flag racing.
Yeah, the one thing I do absolutely love about short track racing is laps come very quickly. Daytona's great because you're super close, but once you start getting into some of those bigger, as it looks like actually Brendan McLaughlin diving into a pit lane as well, and yeah, there he goes in. So that's going to drop him back. Curious on the strategy he decided on that, because now he's going to be at least one, probably closer to about 2 laps down.
Yeah.
Once he gets back out, so not the most ideal way, but obviously he will get those back with wave rounds and I'm sure another caution before stage break. Hopefully not, but
yeah,
it's a possibility.
PJ making a run here at the moment. Just selects to stay off, just to tuck around the outside. He says, okay, and doesn't want to risk it for the inside apron just yet, of course, because that will scrub you some speed. Might even scrub him straight into Andrew, who he's fighting with up the road here. He realizes
Andrew Jamelin,
long race. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Jamelin looking like he's really trying to put some pressure on Cody Kern ahead of him as well. So if you're TJ, almost, sitting back and kind of letting them do their thing, does take a look to the inside, decides against it, and kind of, not necessarily backs off, but playing it smart. I mean, it's the beautiful thing about NASCAR is you don't need to be in first place at the start. You could be 6th, 7th, 8th, and still have a great shot at winning. We've seen it in this series. Weird things happening where, first and second end up getting completely taken out by a car a lap down and then spinning, hitting a wall, bouncing back down, taking out both of them, and the guy in third place getting a win because he was further back. So things happen, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which position you were in at the time.
God, Trent's got the sour patches on there. Wow, I haven't had one of them in years.
Oh, yeah, the Sour Patch Kids?
No, the Sour Patch Lollies. Candy. If I'm not mistaken. If it is.
I've never had
looks like it before. I don't think it's... and happy birthday, Mum, out there on the back there. Whoa!
That's right, it was...
yeah.
He just really wanted to give her a happy birthday. I believe, yes, it was Angie Kimmel's birthday on... Oh, let's see if I can remember. I want to say it was Saturday or Friday. It was Friday or Saturday, and then Happy Little Cupcake's birthday was Saturday as well.
There it is, Sour Patch Kids. Oh, we must have something a little bit different in Australia. There you go.
What did I have? Someone brought back, so obviously with me playing AFL, there's a few Aussies that play as well here. That's a backwards facing car.
That was Tom. Yep.
Yeah, Tom Kuhn there, and that looks like that will bring in or out the Saturday and Sunday. Oh, it's so close. It's off by a day each.
Tom's missed his pit road entrance, and that, because he's done that, he's actually had a spin because there's no grip there as you saw there, especially on the painted surface, isn't it, on the restart zone, it looks like. And that spin, otherwise he would have stayed down to the apron, but he's stuck there too. Yeah.
I was just saying, he's balanced on the two tires there. There's not a whole lot of that high banking will definitely do that to you.
Yeah, exactly. And he had to tow. That's when you saw the car just disappear and go back to the pit road. We can't actually pull. iRacing hasn't got a full tow truck that they're going to bring out there and load it onto the back of the car, load the car on the back of the truck, and then tow it back to the pit lane. That's you never know. iRacing might add that in the future, but I think they're more focusing on the actual quality and how real the driving is, as we are going to see some other drivers head down the pit road. Some of them will elect not to. This will be an interesting situation to see whether or not they're actually going to start taking tyres now, or
if I'm most of them, I would start taking tyres at least one set. You do have 4, so obviously a little bit of time to actually use your tyres as we push into a lap 45 here. So not a terrible time. You can swap these guys out every 50-ish or so, and then you can still finish with 45, I guess, or close to, and still finish with a set of tires near the end in case you need them before we get to any of the green-white checkers.
Yeah, some cars are up on the jacks, you can see. Maybe only taken one side, it looks like, for some of the drivers, not both sides. That'll be a 16-second or so pit stop in there, indicates that they would take tyres. If they only take about 6-second stationary pit stop times I'm talking about, that would mean they're only taking gasoline.
Yeah, exactly. Angie Kimmel, Saturday and Sunday. Impressed, I remembered. Well, I have a really weird memory in that I remember things that aren't like, schoolwork and stuff. So that was always not remembered. But I can remember random facts that people tell me that have no help outside of very niche moments. So this is one of those times.
Happy birthday for you, Mum, out there. from Trenton's
And-
number 52 car, who's currently running in 15th place, but he just took that pit stop for a long pit stop to chip out some damage too. He was in there for about 32 seconds stationary, but that's when you get it done under those cautions. On the damage clock, you can get those repairs chipped out, and you've still got plenty of time in this race, 104 laps to go.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that's the best time to be able to hop into the pits and sort of avoid going down extra laps, because you need that 35, 40 seconds worth of pit stop time just to get your, in this case of most of these cars, front right fender smashed back into place and undented, if you will. But we don't have, unfortunately for Trenton Kimmel James here to throw you under the bus, that your back of your car doesn't say happy birthday to Happy Little Cupcake either.
Oh.
Trenton.
No.
Except these, it was her birthday the next day. So
Kenton's calling out Trenton.
Yes, it's exactly. Someone's got it. All the Entons. We need to have a duel and see who's the best Enton in.
Is that weather
But, as we-
that one? Still stationary at 80.
As we make our way, that will restart our racing. Oh,
no,
there we go. All right. Oh man, that is. Trenton Kimmel stayed out of it though. The 77 there of Ben. Ruse, and then there's Blake Lewis in the 27. Cody Curran got away cleanly, but no one else has to, really did.
I think it's a checkup. Bumper car. Oh no, it's actually just a couple of cars
Yep.
actually losing the rear. Not just this driver at the moment that we're looking at, which is the 77 of Ben Ruse, as you'd mentioned. As your MTV as well. There's Blake Lewis. He had a moment, unless he was getting into him. Look at that was the 27 here. So that's the big bump there too.
Ooh.
That's the checkup.
Yeah, he checked up, and unfortunately the 86 of TJ Spainauer smacked into the back of him. Armin Brusso smacked into the back of TJ. That sent everybody into an accordion effect, and then unfortunately Daniel Molinari gets involved again.
After
he had
7
nowhere to
minutes
go.
of repairs earlier, he's got to go.
He's braking.
Boom.
And he's just hammered on the brakes. But these cars, they don't like to stop. They're very good at going fast, very bad at going back to a slow speed. Once they get any speed, they don't go slowly very quick.
No, because it's they're designed for oval racing, at least a configuration for what they're doing here today, and that's not designed for heavy braking into your corners that you'd have on road courses. So in that case, you've sacrificed your weight, haven't you, for putting big brake pads and stuff like that on these cars for when you don't need to brake that much. Well, hopefully not.
Yeah, you're using about 20 at most 20% braking power ever, outside of obviously going onto a road course. So, and I think typically, unless you're trying to avoid an accident here, you're using only about 5% braking when the tires start to wear out, and you definitely need that little bit of extra help turning the car, getting that little bit of rotation. It's about 5% brake pressure, so not too much brake usage.
No, not on this.
Oh.
But when they do go to the Glen, obviously,
Yes.
for the last race, you will require your brakes. You'll get a little bit more gas, so you can see on there, 60%. They will have 3 sets of tyres available. Well, Glen's not that much punishing on the tyres compared to ovals, of course, and you'll have a stage brake at lap 15 of 50. That'll be our final round of the season. Looking forward to that at Iowa Speedway, which will be that nighttime race, that special event you see with the custom liveries that the drivers will be doing. That'll be fun, for sure. We'll have 5 sets of tyres available at that tight Chua circuit as well. And, of course, we're off to Indy Motor Speedway next week. To apologise that on behalf of James, that the graphic for this stream is showing up as the Indy. James was a day late, $1 early, not $1 short, $1 forward, and Indy next week. But we didn't get a chance to get the graphic updated, but that's okay. Well, we got all the information here, as you can see on the screen. We are in Dover.
We are. The lights are out, so we will be going green once we come back around there. And it took me so long to realize what her name is. Oh my God, I don't, like, I'm almost not proud to admit it. Like, you can call me, I had to stare at this name this whole time, trying to realize how to pronounce that. And I still am, like, kind of guessing.
Which one are you referring to?
I think it's Kayla. I could be wrong, though. Happy Little Cupcakes message there. Yeah, y'all can call me. I'm assuming it's Kayla, but I could be wrong, so you don't have to use my username. I feel like it's wrong, and please correct me if I am. But yes, that was off to a great restart, as we are getting a much better restart on this one. Cody Kern is taken back to the lead. I did get it. Sweet, go me. It took way too much time. My brain function not really working. I was just staring at it like I have no clue. But yes, as we are back at green, Cody Kern getting himself a great jump. A surprise. Yeah, those walls, not very friendly. A surprise sort of jumper up on this one is Seth Pegg in his beautifully rainbow-colored livery there, as he is chasing down the Tour de France of Alex Witt. I believe the Tour de France is actually on right now, too.
Yeah, I believe so.
If I do remember correctly, yeah.
Or at least starting very, very soon. As the Seth Pegg, the Aussie, as you guys like to call us, Aussies. I'm from your neck of the woods there, so no bias, but come on, Seth, you can win this race, mate.
Yeah, I have really no bias in this, because as a Canadian, we have none. So
Yeah.
whoever wins, wins. I hope I win with the least amount of cautions. That's how I win.
How about you could go for who's geography the closest to you in all these drivers, if you know where they're all from. Neck of the woods. Whoa! That's a bit of a tank slapper into the fence there, as Seth, mate. I don't want to call you out too much, but don't go out there and slap that fence around too much. You're going to buy it flowers first. Take it out for a nice date.
Maybe a little, yeah, I was gonna say a little rock garden, concrete fences. You might like that. Although it is actually concrete, so I don't know what safer barrier likes. Fortunately, they don't share that information. But as we are making our way, getting closer and closer, 4 laps away from our stage break. Ooh.
And another caution. Fortunately, my track map is just not working, so I can't see. That was the end of the stage break, was it? Dude, we could have been pretty close to that.
We are pretty close to it. I assume that will be our actual stage break. Usually it's within 5 laps. So that should be stage break.
Bit lap 60, but we're at lap 57 or so when that was called. Yeah, the track map's just completely broken here this evening, so it's very difficult to see if there's any cars stationed on the track, but I can't see anything from race control that indicated that there was a problem.
Yeah, unless we decided to call stage early, but yeah, I didn't see anyone. I haven't seen anyone diving in. Brusso is in pit lane, so unless something happened to him, oh, that front end is battered. So I'm guessing we had an incident. Oh yeah, that steering is all over the place. So I'm gonna guess something happened there.
Let's have a look. If it was, this could have been from damage before. Bang, that's a hard leg. There it is.
Ooh, oh, yep.
And that will cause caution.
Yeah, that'll definitely bring out that yellow flag, because it looks like himself, and didn't see who he tagged. Which car? Ooh, and yeah, having trouble getting going again. I think maybe that's the 14 of. Yeah. I think that's the 14 of Lance Starling there.
However, it will be a free pit stop for these drivers at the moment, and that'll end the stage break. But unless they call the stage break at 60, maybe who comes out first, which will actually be Ben Roos, who stayed out.
Ben getting himself, yeah, he did stay out. And yes, that is going to be stage break there, so it'll be who was in the lead at the time of the yellow flag there. So that will be our stage break with that. So depending on who was in the lead at that point, we'll figure it out later.
Oh, so they're not going to call it across the line now at lap 60 when the stage break is supposed to conclude, or they're going to call it before the caution was called?
Yeah, so they'll count the start of the stage break at
So
the
that
moment
would have
when
been-
the yellow came actually out.
hard
I
to
want to
say.
say it was Alex Witt who was in first at that
Yes.
point. No, Cody Kern actually. Sorry,
Cody Kern, yep. Cody Kern. So the caution was
Cody
called
Kern
at this
and
point. So if that's the case there, Cody gets the stage
the 10
points.
points.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so but yes, that will cause our stage. We are already lights out, which is nice. So stage break will be nice, short, sweet. Get in, get out, go home. Let's keep racing.
Yeah, it's not like Daytona or even more fast stretched if you want to go to the iRacing Super Speedway that not a lot of leagues do. And I push for it. I want them to do more of that. And I think actually iRacing should open it up and say, how about you go everybody out there to model some tracks that they like, put them up as like a community, let people test them and run them and stuff like that. And then fan favorites could actually end up being implemented into schedules. Because we have the ability of creating tracks, of course, these days. I mean, it's great to mimic the real tracks, but at the same time, it's also good to have some fun fantasy tracks into it to spice things up a little bit. That's what
Yeah,
I'd like
the
to
danger
see.
is that James wants us to do, I think it was Monza. And yeah, if we start allowing that, that's just going to be bad.
Maybe for fun off things
Monza
like
over.
charity events or
Yeah.
non-point races, you know what I mean? Things like that.
Yeah, interest race. As we are back underway, let's see if Ben Ruse gets himself a great jump. I'm going to go with not so great of a jump, as it looks like Alex Witt is able to get through, TJ Spainhauer able to get through, and TJ will actually take the lead. Now his hope is to get around with one lap and get the extra bonus point for leading a lap of the race. Brendan McLaughlin has made his way back up to the front, as he was a lap down at one point, but now he is back up into P3. Alex Witt putting a little bit of pressure on TJ. TJ having won his first... Ooh. Looked like Trenton Kimmel slamming the wall in the background there. But TJ won his first race earlier this season. Brad Young trying to make a move on the inside of Brennan McLaughlin. I believe they are actually part of the same team. The Fast Angry Racing team, which...
TJ, hold on to it, son.
Why did the yellow go?
Oh, I
That
think
seemed a little early.
No, it was actually Lance. So TJ's almost lost it there. Lance, unfortunately, has.
Ooh, that front end is looking not so front-ended anymore. Very smashed.
Yeah, oof. It looks like he's just lost it on the entrance. I don't think there was contact there.
No, it looked like either it was really, really, really bad netcode, or he just lost the back end coming out of the corner, which...
I don't like to rewind it, but it's caught the moment there, and we need to go back and see if there was contact. Just so that we can rest. Yeah, you see the tents coming up pretty quickly. That
looks
little
like
gap is
netcode.
that's definitely netcode contact for sure. And it's just unfortunate. The 10 just looked like it was coming way too quickly. It's hard to say. Maybe the 14 was got a little too slow into the corner. I'm not one for race control to make any of those decisions. We just call it as we see it. But obviously, they'll look at that a little bit further later on after the race. And I wanted to see what happened there too with that little moment, wasn't it, with TJ? Wasn't it, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Just before that.
I think he just...
There.
Ooh, gets a little love bump from Alex Witt. A little, excuse me, I'm going this way, and then
save.
Beautiful job to save it, though. Yeah, and then he almost gets run over by his brother.
Yeah,
as Brad Young almost slammed into the back, but everyone was able to keep moving forward. More or less.
I saw a brilliant save, probably one of the best saves as well too last night in the Aussie series at this track too. But now we've just seen another one that was just as brilliant as a save. It's not easy to control these cars when they're absolutely out of control. And it goes to show you the level of skill that we're seeing here from these gladiators, my friend. And the Dover Arena.
No, the Dover Arena. It feels like it. How high banked everything is. Mm-hmm. How high up all the stands are and everything.
Yeah,
Could be.
Way up there. Jam-packed here this evening. You'll see us sitting up in the box up there somewhere, looking down over.
That'd be fun if you could make your own fan to have in the crowd somewhere.
I would be surprised. I don't know if it's true, but sometimes with developers, they chuck themselves in as scanners. You get the photographer guy over there. See, it could be one of the staff members. He's looking.
I did see. What was that? I was playing a Rainbow Six Siege the other day, and I was sitting in a room and a desk, and I had pictures on it, and most of them were blurry except there was one, and it would creep me out because it was just like a very clear photo of a child, like toddler age. And I was like, this is I'm assuming a like developer's kid that he's snuck into this.
Probably,
but it's just really unsettling to be staring back at me at this moment. I was like, I don't like it.
Easter eggs
very creepy.
Tucked into it. Track temperature now still 80.6, hasn't changed, so nothing too much to worry about apart from those cautions, of course, out there. And the other drivers on the track there as Barney's all getting ready to wave that flag. I like how Barney waves the flag. All proper and professional these days.
Car's getting a little squirrely on the restart. Those cold tires, got to be very careful when you put that throttle down. You don't want to just slam it, otherwise you're just going to light up those back tires, and it doesn't tend to end well. Not the worst ones we've seen. I think I remember a couple seasons ago we had a guy who was the front runner for all of like the season kind of thing, was looking like he was going to win the season out, and we're at Road America. Oh, there's one in the background. That'll probably bring out a yellow.
Oh,
there it is.
I think you're right on that one. That's Terry.
Yeah, it looked like Terry and not
Lance?
Brusso. Maybe I think it was Trogdon. I could be wrong though.
Lance.
Oh nope, it's Lance. Man, he is just not having a good day.
No. Bit dinged
that
up
back
there.
tire is very crooked.
Yeah, he's gonna have a hard time.
He's gonna make it around. Ooh, nope, he's not. Yeah, that might just be a toe.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say you can't drive that car back.
There it is. Oh.
Bang.
Yeah, TJ just clips the wall, or Terry clips the wall. Oh, yeah, I thought I saw all the smoke. I was like, oh, maybe it blew. Yeah. I think that's Trogdon and Dan Molinari get tied up at the end there. And Trogdon's trunk punched in a little bit as he tries to avoid everything going on.
Almost did too.
Ooh, yep.
There.
Yep. Molinari. Again, one of those things, you're just trying to avoid everything, and at that point it's just you can't slow down fast enough, unfortunately.
Poor Daniel again, isn't it, after all the repairs? He's just running at the back here, hoping that nothing happens. But the problem is, when he's got to go left, go right, go left, go right, bang. It just can't get the luck today, Kenny, and all these racing incidents that have occurred ahead of him. But the good thing I love about it, he's not giving up. He's like, Winston Churchill, never give up, never surrender. And he's going to continue to keep driving and continue. You never know, a big one can occur up the front there, take out half the field, you go zooming on by, going, thank you very much. I'll take that.
Hey, that was how I won my Daytona split this year. The Daytona 500, yeah. It was first, second got connected, took out third, and I was riding fourth and ended up first. And I was, I'll take it.
Yeah, that is the beauty of oval racing, of course, especially at short track oval racing. On top of that, you can be at the back of the field and you can still come through and then get yourself a nice podium position, or if not a race win. That's something you just can't really occur very much on road courses, can it? Because generally you're going to find yourself probably a good minute and change down the road by the end of a race, and it takes a lot for the whole field. Although I did see a crazy race that we had here on the James Parfitt Racing Network here, that there was a drivers didn't something about getting some of the drivers didn't get the memo about the car setups, and half the field ran out of gas on the last lap.
Oh.
On the last lap, half the field ran out of gas, and then bang, the other half of the field managed to creep it home there just by knowing. So that's just the situation it is. I'm not sure. It's still pending. It's still pending after that on decisions and what they're going to do with it. But was a bit of a cracker. Was sitting up here trying to figure out what was going on. Why were these cars like? Was he going slow? Is he out of fuel? And then, well, hang on. Why was the other drivers going slow? They're out of fuel. Anyway, that's the situation.
Yeah, that's always a fun time. Not at all. That's a bad time. But yes, the fuel, thankfully, with oval racing, a little easier to not worry about fuel as much.
Yeah.
It's usually a pretty quick jaunt back to the pits to grab some more, a little splash. But yeah, some of those tracks get pretty far away as we are about to go green once again here. Alex Witt looking like he's going to take us away. The guy who usually gets some unbelievable restarts. And yep, there he goes. Oh, and we've got one car around, one slammed in. Dan is still going forward, though, so we're still keeping it green.
I think they don't come around, the car's still stuck on the road. Should be good to go. I think he did get going.
Yeah, I think he actually, he did get all the way down to the inside and was able to keep going. And they have I'd say a kind of a loose rule, but if it's an individual car incident, they typically won't throw a yellow unless someone else is involved or it's a danger to the race itself. So that kind of incident where he able to get all the way down into the apron afterwards, not too bad, as Lance and Terry are both still in pit lane. They're going to be in there for a while. It looks like their fast repair's already been used. So Lance is, I'm sure, twice over. But yeah, he's had a rough one. So hopefully they're able to get back out, but we will see.
Yeah, I hope so. I have to get the repaired to come out there because once again we still have 78 laps to go, so they have plenty of time. If you get a couple more cautions, you can get those laps back pretty quickly. You can see at the moment Blake Lewis's Chevy on the MTV. He's got something on the back of the MTV car there. Can't quite see. Oh, that's the that's the MTV Spaceman. What was the first song that was ever played on the MTV television?
I actually know this.
Okay.
I do know this. Video Killed the Radio Star.
There you go. That's right. By the By?
Oh, good. Presidents of
No.
the United States? No.
That's one for the chat. Come and let us know out there. I know it, but I'm just... we'll get
I
one
should.
for the chat. Starts with a B.
It does, yeah.
As we're seeing, Alec Wick and Cody put some attack right now. Cody Kern on the inside there of Alex Witt. These two have kind of been at it tooth and nail at the lead of this race for some time right now. Both those drivers, as you can see on the gains up there, up 2. Currently at the moment, 76 to go in our final stage of the race to the checkered.
See, and this is the thing. I did know the song, and I got it confused with the remix by the Presidents of the United States. That's
yeah,
what
they
threw
did
me.
do that.
But
That's
yeah.
right, they did do that.
Yes. So, but yes, as we can see here on board with Cody Kern, as he is trying to make a move up the inside of Alex Witt. The hard part with this track is once everything's kind of been rubbered in, as we're starting to see, obviously this late into the race, 77 of 150, it gets a little trickier, a little slipperier down that far below everyone else. So riding that top line can be a little bit better, a little more speed, a little better grip, but obviously a lot harder to make a move around someone who's in the middle of the track if you can't go low. So you have to sort of take it with as much power as you can and kind of not necessarily hope and pray, but a little bit of hope and pray.
Very
Blake
bouncy.
Lewis is now coming into pits as well, actually. I just noticed that.
Concentration levels through the roof, and you get that slipstream there from Cody. As the drivers,
dirty
unfortunately, in the damage clock at the moment, are going to go a couple of laps down there. Hope for more cautions to come out there so they can chip out those repairs. But it is what it is. You can't control the cautions. You just got to work with whatever Lady Luck throws your way.
100%. And yeah, dirty air in this is very upsetting for these cars. So you have to be very careful trying to follow them around too closely, because going into these corners, you don't want to lose all your downforce and get super loose and suddenly up into a wall. It doesn't work well. Cars don't like that.
The walls hit the cars, don't they? Drivers don't hit the walls.
Oh yeah, no, it's the car's fault.
That's what
They
you
put a
tell your
wall there.
sponsors, anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So, as we are once again on board, Calvin Ross this time, as we're staying at the back end of Brad Young in the 89 Chevy. That threw me off for a second because his brother in the same livery drives the Toyota. So it's always fun trying to remember which one is which, who's in which one. As we make our way through, Brendan McLaughlin having lost 4 positions as he did start as our leader, did have an incident of having to come into the pit lane after everyone else during green flag, and it did cost him a couple of laps.
Oh, is he caught the inside apron there? Whoa.
That is that bump I was talking about. As you try and get underneath, you have to be very careful, or it will just shoot you back up and onto the track, and you end up being that guy, and no one wants to be that guy. Looks like Brad Young with Calvin Ross looking to make a move up as he dives to the inside. Is he going to be able to make this one stick? Like I said, there's a little bit more speed outside. But it does look like the Camry able to slip ahead of the Chevy. Still, I will stand by this forever. Toyota Camry is the worst option Toyota could have used for their fast car.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Why the Camry? It is a Toyota Camry. You have a Supra or any other choice.
Good. Well, it's a more affordable road car.
Yeah, but
I want to sell cars, right? That's why they're in the motorsport world there, because they want to advertise and say, "Hey, this is a car. This is your road car. You can have it. You can go out and drive it really fast around ovals." Of course, you wouldn't be driving your road car like that. And I just presume that's just the way they want to do it, because it's all marketing. It's all sales.
At least use a sports car. Ford uses the Mustang. It's not like you're busting out a Ford Pinto.
Yeah.
Or the Ford, I don't even know what their cars are, what other car they have other than the Mustang off the top of my head. And Chevy, the Camaro. You're not driving Chevy Cavalier around the track. So I just, so many more options. So many more.
Good green flag.
I still think the Supra.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Two battles occurred.
They already used the Supra. That's what bothers me. They use the Supra and the Xfinity and then don't in the next gen. I don't know why.
Well, they get the best of both worlds in, don't they?
I guess so. I do like their truck, though. The truck is nice.
Ben Ruse with the ride something on the front of that car. Ride the Dente. Oh, right straight into the back there of Trenton. Kimmel, who's running in 12th and 13th, that they're currently running it at the moment in that battle with the Joshua and Joshua law firm up the road. Joshua Keefe and Joshua Carlton.
Did Trenton Kimmel change the back of his car?
When?
I don't know.
Stops.
It doesn't say Happy Birthday Mom anymore.
No way. Surely not.
I'm actually serious. I'm serious.
We'll have a look from Ben Roos, because have a good look at that one. It does. Happy birthday, Mom.
Oh. Okay, mine doesn't. Mine says Happy Birthday to Kayla.
Oh,
on my screen. It
he might have updated. Kayla. I didn't know you can update it mid-race, so that's interesting.
I didn't know that either. Like, wait a minute.
Are you using Trading Paints or another software?
Yeah, no, I'm on Trading Paints. I just redid it because I noticed that Seth Pegg had a different car than what I was what he was driving on my screen. I was like, oh, I'll do a quick update halfway through the race, and it updated and now says, "Not Happy Birthday, Mom." So that threw me off so hard. I was like, wait a minute, did he just swap the Trading Paint? Like, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard if you had it like next to it, and yeah, you go into your pit stop, you just click drive this one, and it updates it. But a bold strategy, Cotton.
Just a second, see if we're all paying attention. I'm still going to go side by side. Have to back off again. Good attack there. Ben Roos is really trying to attack as we just lose pitches for a second, because I've updated the Trading Paint, so we're going to see in a second if it will update it. We'll slowly go through and update the cars, and it will in a second. Let's see. That car's going to go from grey. All right, Ben, you got to catch up. Got to catch up so we can catch the back of Trenton's car here. Get on the loud pedal, mate. Here we go. And I think you might be right on that one, because that is definitely a lot longer than Mum. It has updated. Okay,
this is going to be a very interesting comment. If there's a caution, we're going to bring him in.
Happy birthday, Kayla. Right there. Yeah, you called it.
That caught me so off guard. Okay, so I'm not going crazy. I'm okay with that then. But yeah, if we have another caution, we might have to have a chat and see how he did that, because that's new.
I've never seen that in all the time I've been broadcasting on iRacing. That's impressive. But then again, that'd have to be up to the fact that we would be refreshing it up there in the broadcast booth too. So he's on top of that one, and he's like, all right, let's see. Let's see if they're going to
Yeah.
pay attention. That's good. And if
Maybe
you never
I
refreshed,
called
we
him out.
never would have known.
Yeah. I called him out and he was like, all right, fine, I'll change it. I just had it set up already. So it's our mystery of the day. We'll figure it out. Angie Kimmel, that is hilarious, right? Okay, so yeah, it's... Never would have guessed that would be a thing that someone would try and do. But props on him if he had 2 different liveries ready for this race specifically. And yeah, once we noticed the happy birthday mom, just changed it up.
We have
some
pit stops,
red flag, green flag pit stops coming in.
Yep. That'll be
Looks like Cody Kern, TJ, and Brandon. Yep.
Yeah.
I was going to say them because it looked like only 3, but nope, ends up being about 5.
These are green flag pit stops that are scheduled for half the teams, as well as Alex is heading in right now, unless he's heading off the track somewhere. No, he is coming in. So will anybody else follow him? Yes, it looks like Noel will follow him from P2. Calvin Ross from P3 comes in. What about Seth? Seth stays out. Joshua stays out. They're our new race leaders in this one, and they're battling it for a tooth and nail too. These 3 currently you see in the pictures are all there. And Trenton's just a little bit further down the road there with Ben Roos.
Seth Pegg, unfortunately, getting passed by the other family in our race series. Oh, yeah, he's dropping down to go to pits, as is, it looks like, I believe that's Joshua Keith as well. So Joshua Kuhn has taken over, I believe. Okay, so the way it is, Joshua Kuhn and Tom Kuhn are father and son, and then Joshua Keith is brother-in-law, if I remember correctly. So another family, and then we've got the Brad Young and TJ Spainhauer.
Just get out of the way there for somebody jumping down the pit road. Exactly. So these 2 going for it 2 for now. Now, Trenton and Ben.
Trenton Kimmel trying to steal that the 1 point for leading a lap.
Yeah, exactly.
Little addition.
And, well, these drivers boxed on lap 68 and 63. So Ben Roos is the one that's been out there essentially the longest, with everybody else just coming recently down in the pit road on lap 95s, 96s and so forth. So Joshua's going to come down currently at the moment from P3. There he is. So these other 2 drivers at the moment, they're going to have to come down. Remember the 51 laps to go and 35% fuel capacity. Not going to the end, gentlemen.
Not easily. I would actually not be surprised if they had to come in one more time, as we're 100
Ben's
of
coming in
the
now.
150. Yeah, Ben goes in. Okay, I can see that. So Trenton Kimmel trying to pull a couple of extra laps, and not the worst idea. I mean, obviously, his tires can be a little bit warmer, can put a little bit more speed going. It looks like most people have come in and taken tires. It looks like I think Joshua Kuhn is the only one who has gone in that hasn't on this last little section here. So we'll see as Trenton Kimmel now is coming into pit lane.
And Ben's just reaching his pit box now after that previous lap of pit stops. That's to show you how much time it takes you to drive it at the pit lane speed limiter all the way down pit lane to go out to the front pit boxes where you started this race and according to your qualifying position. So that's just slow. It's punishing, of course, in a short track race where the drivers are doing 23 seconds a lap. You get past pretty quickly. There is Alex, who'll come back and take the race lead back again.
Alex getting himself out in front. Cody Kern a little bit further back, about 3 seconds the gap currently. And Alex is going to go ripping around. TJ Spainhauer in third, him and Cody Kern nice and tight together. So that'll be a good little duel to keep an eye on as those 2 fighting it out for P2. Fortunately, as not many people are surprised, Alex is real quick. It's real fast.
Yeah. He is going by iRating. That's not always everything, but he has the highest. His iRating practically almost doubles half the field here. He's got about 4K iRating, whereas most of the other field have about, average about 1.5 to 2K. But that doesn't necessarily, once again, indicate that you're going to be so much quicker, because you see the other drivers can still do the same pace. Just kind of probably represents you spending a little bit more time in the racing sim, as in ranked races, that is, in order to get your iRating. You can go and do practice sessions all day long, not going to affect your iRating.
It's true. Or you could just be like me, get an iRating semi-decent, and then just not race for a long time.
Oh, there's a bit of contact up the road there. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think I did Daytona, one F4 race, Sebring 12-hour, and haven't touched it since. So it's been a little busy.
And then you get a little rusty, isn't it, when you come back out there? And then
oh, I'm terrified. I was going to come back and hop in and do the Nuremberg 24-hour, and then I was like, wait, that's a terrible idea.
Yes, sir. Oh, well.
Yeah, so,
bang! That's a hard lick into the
big
fence.
Hit. Oh, that one. That would be Joshua Kuhn there. That's
yes,
going to, I'm assume, leave a little bit of tire damage, wheel damage there.
Yeah,
just a little bit, yep.
Having a look, yep. But the show must go on for the 83 machine, the 083 machine. But yep, that'll rattle the fillings out of your teeth on that one too. Oh, he's still in it.
Might rattle the teeth out.
Rattle your teeth out. Yeah, exactly.
The car had a good bump off the wall there. It even caught a little bit of air, which you don't really want to do in these cars very often. They don't really have the best of shocks so for absorption, so they'll bounce pretty hard.
Too. It could potentially twist the chassis a little bit on a hard lick like that into the fence.
Calvin Ross having himself a nice little race here. He's up 8 positions. Brad Young up 9 positions, and Joshua Kuhn up 10 positions. So this little trio having themselves a pretty good day.
Yeah, it's also great to see our first real green flag pit stops that we saw earlier, because we had those multiple cautions that allowed those drivers to go down pit road and put 4 freshies on and splash and dash of gasoline and all that sort of jazz. But that was the first time that we've seen, really, an alternative pit stop strategy split between those drivers. These drivers in the top 10, a lot of them went on to that lap 95, 96, and then, of course, we did see Trenton go in there on lap 101, and Ben Ruse who's gone back in again. Just Ben Ruse come back in again now. So is he... Oh, he's not even pulling his pit box. He's got a technical problem. That is a malfunction or something into his car, and he unfortunately looks like he's retired this race.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully it's just had to reset the old steering wheel or the old pedals, and then you can get back going. But we'll see how that one plays out. Though it looks like no, may not be he has disconnected. So that will be the end of the day for him. Unfortunate, but
it happens.
Long
race. To me, the technical issues are something similar that you obviously have in real life issues with the actual car. Something, your fuel pump goes, or some electrical fault or something like that in your car, and then you'll unfortunately have to retire with no fault of your own sometimes. That's a similar situation with the virtual racing world of technical issues like cat jumping on your lap, or a lot of the times that I hear from drivers is a USB comes disconnected.
Mm-hmm.
And VR as well too. VR as well. So a lot of drivers love it. Driving in VR, and they say it's a lot of fun, and it really does immerse the racing experience. Also can cause a lot of crashes. I have a gaming monitor, a big Samsung Odyssey OLED super widescreen monitor that's for gaming, huge refresh rate, perfect for all that sort of stuff. Comes up with an annoying menu to go screen optimization. The only way to clear the menu is to get behind the monitor, push the little toggle button and disable it. Now, if you're on a racing rig, you're not going to be able to do that.
Oh, very tricky to do at that point.
Yeah, not very good for a gaming monitor to be able to do that. And no firmware fix for it, as we're seeing Brad Young have a hard lick into the fence. But that's just to show you the ideas of what can happen with your computer in your racing rig. Pop-ups, annoying things that happen, monitors refreshing, all sorts of things like that. Whilst you're at a high-speed race, it's not fun.
No, especially, at least NASCAR, you can sort of be paying attention. If you're in a rig, obviously it's a little more difficult because trying to reach everything, but Trenton Kimmel hits the wall as well. But I know for my set, oval racing, you kind of do it with one hand. pretty decently. You're not trying to shift gears too often.
That's true.
So you can kind of do that. But yeah, if you're on a road circuit, good luck. You're constantly shifting gears. So not the best that way.
I had somebody that was racing in an endurance race, and they said that who was it there, like somebody in the household, so I can't get to Facebook, so they went and reset the router. Of course, just yanked the power out of the router to reset it back again, not realizing that they're sitting in the basement in the racing regular endurance race, and bang, all of a sudden they're out of the race. So many hours into it, so just anything can happen.
Oh yeah.
That's when you got to, mind you, alert your family members and stuff like that at home to say, in an endurance race, 5 other people have been racing in this one, and they're counting on me to do my stint.
Yeah, it gets a little, and then thankfully, I think they've kind of tweaked it where if you do disconnect, it automatically just jumps you back to the pits.
Yes.
Now, so thankfully, you don't. Yeah, you don't just. Ew, a couple heavy hits there of Brusso and
Alex is in,
and Trenton Kimmel there. Alex is in. Interesting.
This will be a splash.
31 to go.
Yep, I'd say.
Yeah, this will be. Do you take tires at all, or do you just splash and dash?
Well, that'll be very interesting. We'll keep an eye out a second because there's no other close battles, thankfully, to show you. So we can show you Alex when he gets to his pit box eventually, all the way down here at the front. His pit crew will sit there and just stare at the car. Will it go up on jacks? We have other people coming to pit road as well. Yep.
Now, is he doing both, or is he going to just do the one side?
Yep.
He's doing both. Yep, full tire set, which makes sense because I was looking at it. He came in last on like 96, I think it was. Trying to get another 30 out of those tires would have been asking for problems, more or less.
So now Calvin Ross becomes our new race leader there with Seth Pegg. But these drivers, lap 96 and lap 97 is the last time they came out of pit road. They will have to come back in again. It's just a question of when. For these drivers, they'd love it depends about cautions right now, isn't it? You'd lose your track position, but you would not lose a couple of laps, especially short track racing. So maybe that's what they'd be hoping for.
I would definitely at this point, you come in for a caution or a caution. Oof. Come in during a said caution.
Somebody spun that. Who's that?
Ooh, that might. Is that Brad or TJ?
That could cause a.
I think it was an individual car though, so it might not. Oh, that's Brad. As he was getting down, I think he's coming into pit lane anyway. So exiting pit lane that was lap. Yeah,
this is when Brad's come out and hit the loud pedal, and she's just going.
Is he gonna hit? He's gonna hit the bump.
I think you're right.
Yep. There it is. Yep.
That's the one you're talking about.
Stays out of the wall though, so props to him on that because that could have ended horribly very fast.
Miles the monster.
It is a monster in this track.
Claims another victim.
Yep, that and like I said, that new update, or the new scan, just absolutely sent some a lot of bumps into this track. Whether I don't watch enough NASCAR to say, yep, that's real, but if it is,
actually, it's I have a few. As they do approach, that's nice. Well, look at the bump in the background. Not quite sure who that was.
Yeah,
but that was insane.
I believe that's Joshua Keith, I believe that's
we have a couple
his
of
car there.
In the series that I'm in, there's a couple of Xfinity drivers and stuff like that are in the league, and I've spoken to a couple of them post-race interviews and stuff like that. So how well is these laser scan tracks? And a lot of them, they say the freshly new laser scan, they said they're pretty spot on. Like those bumps are there, and they feel them in the cars, and that's why they love those racing sims out here, because it really does give them great practice for the real world racing that they do. So that's just to show you how much sim racing's come a very long way.
Oh, it's incredible. Like even like not the high end guys, your Maxes and stuff like that have not only iRacing, but they have the F1 specific simulators that you know, Red Bull and Mercedes and all them are going to have. But even like I stumbled across a video. I don't know if you know who Dude Perfect is, but one of their guys actually, so one of the guys was actually invited by Toyota to join in on like an official race, not just like a celebrity race, like an actual race. And he had, I think it was 4 months, maybe 6 months to prepare, having never raced ever in his life, like an actual race car. So he did, and a lot of it, he said, was actually simulator time, just practicing. As both cars hit the wall there, Alex able to sneak underneath. But yeah, he said simulator actually helped out a lot, because obviously you can only spend so much time in those cars. Fuel gets expensive after a while, and he's also claustrophobic, so him sitting in one of the tiny cars, because he's like 6'4", not a lot of drivers are usually that big. So he found, he was like, simulator was very helpful for getting comfortable with how to position the cars and stuff like that. Obviously it doesn't help everything, because there's tiring aspects of trying to control a car at that speed.
The fatigue and all that, exactly. Yeah, but
and heat, stuff like that. So but he said it actually helped out quite a bit. That'll be a caution though.
Now I'm not sure for who. So I said track map's not working, unfortunately. So we are a little lost until I get something from race control. Unless you can spot something out there by having a little just spying around. It's going to be interesting. Re-rack and restack them again. So
if you guys get a wave around,
give Seth a pit stop here, because he was due for one. He didn't go back down until lap 97. Now it'll be interesting if any of these drivers, although that's going to be a little punishing for him, he has to wait for the pace car.
Did he run out of gas?
I don't know why he stopped. We have drivers coming in, so
that's Brusso. Looks like was the one involved in that. You can see his front left there is pointing in a different direction than right.
Oh, that was Ben Ruskin in pit road here from the last caution. Oh. Maybe this external track map will show us. I can see the cars getting there. It is. See on the start-finish line?
Yep. Yeah, who's that? That looks like Brad Young.
Yes, it is. Good catch. That's the
and this is going to be... There it is. Yep, there's Brusso driving right into the side of him.
Just lost it here.
Does he just get loose? Yeah.
And then...
Right into Seth.
Yeah,
and then he is holding the brakes, and then tries to get all the way down to the wall. And unfortunately, that's the same direction Armin Brusso tried to go, and they met.
Seth will come in. The rest of the drivers should stay out, because they had enough to bring it to the end. They certainly should have a little bit more now, that the fact that they're going to be not burning full gasoline because we're under pace car conditions. But Seth had to come in. But that's a big slowdown, like how slow he had to get in order to wait for that pace car, I believe, has really punished him on this one. He should come back out the lead lap, thankfully, but he will drop down the field a bit. Alex will be our new race leader.
Alex will take back over. Unfortunately, the pace car's lights are out, so we won't have time to grab Trent and Kimmel in. As we were trying to figure out what the heck happened, because there's no call out at all, just all of a sudden yellow. So, but we are going to continue moving forward, getting close. 28 laps, 27 laps to go. It's going to be a mad dash for the finish. 18. I can do math.
I cheat. It's on my stream deck. So
in my head it was 160. That's why I said 27. Yeah. I was like, 28, 27. It's 150, and I can't count. So, but we are about to go green once again. Alex Witt, Cody Kern, Brian McLaughlin, TJ Spainhauer. See how this one goes. Alex Witt does get a good jump. TJ gets a little squirrely, but is able to keep this car from slamming into the wall. Noel Jackowitz makes a move on his inside and is going to take over fourth as the battle for the podium commences once again. But Cody Kerr and Brendan McLaughlin having themselves a fantastic little drive as they're both staying out of trouble. Noel Jackwitz up 5 positions. He is now in P4. Last year a champion, which is why he's rocking the number 1 and not his number 7.
Yeah, certainly good
These
battle.
two side by.
Yep, Cody, he has, I mean, he gets 16 to go. It's go time, actually, because if we go green flag to the end, that'll be enough distance. And, of course, most of these drivers are all on even Stevens. They all took tyres in that last pit stop, and they're doing a bit of they're literally refreshing their trading paints right now, my friend, by trading paints together.
Yeah, definitely little love taps. Let's call it being friendly. Just really checking out that paint scheme, making sure they know what each other's driving, so they just want to appreciate it.
That's a bit of door banging.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Rubbing is racing.
Rubbing is racing, right?
Yeah.
As McLaughlin there under threat, though. Noel Jackwitz trying to make a move up the inside, and I don't quite got it. And not quite able to get ahead, so Brendan McLaughlin will hold on to P3. Noel Jackwitz is hunting him down quite aggressively. Not doing anything crazy, but definitely trying to make a move.
Yeah. Hey, we're going to start making some moves now. They're hitting that fence a little bit. Well, a lot of that hitting the fence is not because of the extreme tire wear now. That's just because of the damage that's been brewing up on these cars for the last good chunk of 80 laps or something like that, where they've started to really start slapping that wall a little bit more.
For sure, as Jackwitz actually does make the move on Brendan McLaughlin there. TJ now also looking to do much the same. Ooh.
And
that's going to slow him down. Almost was going to be a caution, but Brandon McLaughlin able to back off after making contact, stay out of any of the walls, and we'll keep moving.
Alex got a commanding lead. Look at that, right out front at the moment, just about to put some laps on one of the drivers at the front there, a little bit ahead of him. So he's got that 1.5 second gap to Cody. He's got to get a move on right now of 11 to go. He's going to try and find whatever possible pace he can for the 23 machine if he wants to take this race victory. Also taste champagne as well. Or milk.
It's a good old bubbly. Yeah.
Only in Indy.
I don't know what they do at Dover.
That'll be next week. You'll be having the milk.
Yes. I don't know. You get at Dover if you win. Ooh, TJ. That looked like a smack in the wall from Noel Jackwitz, and unfortunately TJ didn't really have anywhere else to go. Clip the back of him, but they both stay forward.
There you go.
Make our way through, yes, as you said, 10 to go. Very tight-knit group now, as this little pack from 3rd all the way down to really 7th. Very, 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 very close together.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great battle here for the potential last podium spot here, with Noel just trying to hang on to that one currently at the moment. TJ putting some pressure on the inside. Bang! There it is. TJ will get past through. We've got a wreck in behind.
Ooh, that's going to be a caution as McLaughlin and dodge there. And Trenton Kimmel looks like they get connected. And unfortunately, straight down and back into pit lane they will go.
That is severely damaged too. He's probably might have to retire that one. He's not going to get enough time. That's not even, it's barely drivable. Certainly not drivable at the speeds that they need to be going under green flag. Let's go back and have a look what happened. So it come together. There. Just because it hit the fence.
Yeah, hits the fence, bounces a little bit. McLaughlin's right on his tail and takes the brunt of it, and that's going to send him right into a wall.
Yep. And that can happen to anybody at any time in this race. You wanted to grab for a quick chat. Now's the time, my friend.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he actually in the? He's in his pit box, I'm assuming at this point. So we'll quickly grab. Although he is muted, so I'm not sure if he will actually be able to unmute himself before we get going here. But we do want to ask if he. There he is. Okay, so he is unmuted now.
He did not.
Did you?
No,
I did not change it.
Oh, so change it? No, I changed it before the race. Oh. I thought you were gonna ask if I asked the question. No, I did not. I was prepared for that.
You did?
No. I changed the bat rear bumper before the race, and Seth said during the race, he's like, "Oh, tell your mom I said happy birthday." I'm like, "Well,
Yeah.
I guess it just didn't take." And then Seth then said, "Oh, your bumper's changed. How'd you do that?" I'm like, "I just turned left. I don't know what's happening."
Okay, so you aren't crazy. It was changed and it just needed
Wouldn't go that
another
far.
update, apparently.
Yeah, no, I was ready for the pull in the booth. So, did you ask the question? Like, no, I did not.
Oh no, we're not going to do that. No. James isn't here. We're not pulling that. We're not throwing you that far.
I didn't know if James had set you up to something, but
No, not this time.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
next
well,
time.
that's my race. Unfortunately, I have 11 minutes of repair left, so I'm just gonna sit here and watch the cars drive
Enjoy.
by.
There you
I
go.
won't. Yeah.
Well, bummer
sorry.
your race ended that way, but well, hopefully
It's
we'll
alright.
see you next week in Indy Motor Speedway, and we'll have a little more luck that time.
Golly, I could sure use it. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoy. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. All right, so everyone had no idea. It just is apparently needed special updating on its own. It wanted to
He
be
did. He
picky.
got the best of both worlds too on that one, didn't he? So he got the luxury of
Works
two
out for everyone
trading
involved.
paints. Exactly. Now it's going to be interesting because Alex got that nice little sprint up the road there by about 1.5 seconds. Scrap that, reset them, re-rack them. Now we're going to have a nice little sprint here, or basically 4 or so laps to go to the end here. Cody's going to give it everything he possibly can, and that battle for P3, I guarantee, is still on for sure. And if these two come together, then hey, Calvin Ross, that's running in that P8 on the lead lap, can certainly scoot on by and take the race win. This is not over yet. Miles is sitting there waiting to munch on somebody here if they make a mistake.
Miles the Monster. Do you know what he originally was? Before they updated it to what he is now. He originally, I believe it was in 93, was actually a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, okay.
And in 08, he was
Still
changed
bites.
to what he is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
As we are back at green, Noel Jackowitz doesn't get a great jump. Cody Kern didn't get a great jump either. TJ does tuck in behind him. Alex Witt obviously does get a great jump. It's Alex Witt, and he is probably one of the best restarters I think I've ever seen in NASCAR. If he doesn't get a great lead off a restart, I'm shocked. Seth Pegg does slam into the wall there. But we do have a little bit of gap. Noel Jackowitz not giving up on P3. We have 4 to go here. TJ doing what he can to hold on to that last podium position.
Yeah, but
He is very under threat.
Going to be around here somewhere for sure. Exactly. This is where potentially, because those two are gone. They've checked out up the front. At this point, with 3 to go, it's going to be going by pretty quickly here with just a mile on each lap.
Ooh, if you're TJ, you're happy with seeing this, that Noel Jackowitz has to be fighting with Andrew Jamelin behind him. Give you a little bit of reprieve as he kind of starts to set a little bit of a gap there. Looks like he's actually going to try and chase down Cody Kern.
Everything now. But there you go. There's TJ, there's Cody, and there's our race leader Alex, who's only got essentially right now 1 more lap to go on the penultimate lap of this race. The white flag will be shown in a second. There, all he has to do is bring it home for another mile, and he has this race win. Further back, you can see Andrew and Noel side by side. That'll be dictated very soon in just over half a mile, but nothing to take it away from the Ford. The 594 of Alex Witt.
He has driven a phenomenal race, kept himself mostly out of trouble, and does take home the win. Cody, second position, and the final podium spot going to Mr. TJ Spainhauer. If James was here, he'd be very happy. TJ is his favorite driver. Yeah, no favoritism in the booth anymore, but that would be James's, for sure. But a fantastic race from Alex Witt, as he does get a wonderful win. Once again, proving he is bloody, bloody quick. Although it seems like he proves it every week, because he is fast. And
now
tries
you
to do a
can-
donut,
you can-
tries to do just a burnout.
Oh, you don't have to return the car there, Alex. It's all yours to ding up and smash up all you like there, my friend. Do some burnouts in a bit the jam-packed stadium here. So we'll get those still unofficial results, but that look pretty good from that one. Come up to the screen now.
There we go. So as you can see, Alex Witt does take the win there. Cody Kern in P2, TJ in P3, Andrew Jamelin in 4, Noel Jackowitz in 5, Seth Pegg in 6, Calvin Ross in 7th, Brandon McLaughlin in 8th. And then we start with our laps down. Joshua Kuhn in 9, Brad Young 10, Joshua Keith in 11th, Blake Lewis in 12th, Trenton Kimmel in 13th, Terry Spainhauer in 14th, Armin Brusso 15th, Dan Molinari in 16th, and then we have Ben Roos, David Trogdon, Lance Starling, and Tom Kuhn all unfortunately having a bad day and unable to finish this one. But fantastic racing all around. It is Dover. If there were not people who crashed, I would have been more surprised. So fantastic job out of Alex Witt and Cody Kern and TJ Spainhauer. And we will quickly have a little chat with our fantastic crews. We'll start with the man who finished in 3rd, and poor James isn't here to... Poor James, I always forget about that, Ducky. Poor James not here to, get overly excited about it. But once again, TJ, you're on the podium. That's always a good time.
Yeah, it feels good to be on podium for pace, at least somewhat.
I mean, it seemed pretty on pace. You got past Noel without it just being him taking himself out and no one else crashing. So that definitely would say on pace there. But tough track, obviously. How did it feel throughout the entire time there?
Felt like I was melting the tires off the entire time. Like there was no comfort at Dover.
Well, yeah, it's not the most comfortable track to have to be on. It's no, Iowa. Even Watkins Glen, I'd say, would be more comfortable.
Oh yeah, I much prefer
That's
Watkins
fair.
Glen.
Very fair. Well, I mean, hey, I'm excited for a win then at Watkins.
Oh, I'm not saying I'm going to win. I'm just saying it'll be more comfortable. It's probably because I'm a lot slower at Watkins Glen.
Ah, there you go. Okay. Well, once again, anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go there?
Oh, my race team and my family and you guys. I appreciate you guys coming out and doing all this. And shout out to Armand and BSC for putting this on. It's always fun.
For sure. Well, congratulations once again, and we will hopefully see you next week in Indianapolis.
Hopefully.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. And with that, we will bring in our second place finisher, Cody Kern, having himself a fantastic race. Stayed very much out of trouble, which really at Dover, it's kind of the best you can do. Is the less trouble you get in, the higher finish you'll have. So, Cody, tough track out there, but how did it feel for yourself?
It was pretty good. After the first couple laps, it kind of settles in. Wasn't too bad. As long as you take it easy, not throttle up too much off the corner and get into the wall, you can stay out of trouble. That and restarts. That was always a wild ride for everybody.
It was very, very interesting to see who was going to suddenly turn right when they did not mean to be turning right on those restarts. It happened a couple of times, lap 1. But off to a good start. It was very indicative of how the race was going to go. What it seemed like. So, other than that, how was going after Alex? It always seems like it demoralizing a little bit.
The start of stage 2, I was trying to race him a little bit. I think the line I was running, once we started to get some tire wear, I just didn't have the drive off that I did, and he saw what I was doing and made sure once I got to him, I didn't really have a chance to get around him. But props to him. But it was a fun race.
Yeah, you looked very smooth. Stayed out of trouble. Didn't have too many issues arise, which was good. And I think the one big kind of dust up we had where there was a good chunk of cars, I think were one of the few cars that actually managed to just get away clean, which was good off one of the restarts there. So obviously that's nice.
I don't expect to go into Dover and finish with a fast repair, but I will take it every time.
100%. No, that looked good. You excited for Indy next week?
I actually will be out of town next week, so I'll be missing that one. A little unfortunate, but I've never really been a big fan of Indy, so we'll come back the week after and see what we can do.
Sounds great. Well, anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Shout out to the family watching. Appreciate it. Another second place finish. One day we'll win. One day. But
yeah, I believe.
I think this is the fourth or fifth time this season that I've been in the broadcast booth in second place. So
you mean to say you're
nice
always the bridesmaid and never the bride? There, Cody.
Exactly.
Well, your time's
coming.
Your time's coming, mate.
All right. Well, we will let you go and hopefully catch up to you next week, or in 2 weeks, I guess, at Iowa Motorsport. But have yourself a good week off, and yeah, hopefully we'll chat with you again soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. And with that, we will bring in our race winner, Mr. Alex Witt, as he had a very interesting start to the race, as he was one of the cars. He did get out of it pretty smoothly, but the first start of the race, he had to make some, I guess, moves to make it through. And he did. And ends up getting himself a solid P1 finish. Alex, how did that one feel for you?
It felt pretty good. Yeah, a little bit shaky on the start and was struggling a little bit with how tight the setup was, but I feel like I got into a groove there, especially in the second stage.
Anything you kind of were excited about this race, or you think you were going to come in and have a nice win, or was it kind of just hopefully survive and whatever happens?
Usually I have pretty good speed at Dover, so it's sort of always one that I look to that's usually pretty fun. Definitely would like a looser car, but after figuring out the right line and the right way to drive it into the corner, it was pretty good, just ripping the bottom line there.
For sure. You excited for next week going to Indianapolis?
Absolutely not. Definitely probably the exact opposite of my excitement going into Dover, going into Indy. I have no idea how I'm going to do there. It's just, that's going to be the one where I'm just trying to survive and trying not to just put into the wall every lap, I think.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully you're able to keep it out of the wall and not have too many issues. But anyone you want to give a shout out to, let you go?
Yeah, shout out to the Breakfast Club as always.
Sounds good. Well, hopefully we'll chat with you next week. But we'll let you go for the rest of this evening.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and with that, as obviously we are done with race, and we get to move on to the wonderful, very fast, very draft-heavy Daytona 2.0, original Daytona, whatever you really want to call it, but the Indianapolis Speedway. Nice, fast, and draft-heavy. Who isn't excited for that, other than every person who has to watch cars slamming into walls, because there's always a big one at Indianapolis. Oh boy, it's going to be a fun one. Although actually this year's Daytona went really well, so who knows? Could be no cautions at all. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But as for us, I've been Kenton, been here with Dean, and we will be back, not even hopefully, we will be back for next week in Indianapolis. So have yourselves a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, and hopefully we'll see you on the track sometime. Have yourselves a great one.